The Didact, with Chakas, Riser, and Bornstellar in tow, embarked on a cosmic voyage, first setting course for Charamakor, before heading to Janjamquam, the Sanshayum homeworld. The Didact had hopes that this journey might kindle memories, laid dormant by the librarian within these two humans that would assist him in this quest. As they traversed the stars, latent recollections of their forefathers, warriors of the human Forerunner wars, began to emerge from the depths of their Gaius-infused psyches, a sort of collective consciousness created by the librarian. The winds of fate, however, took a darker turn on Janjamquam. The trio found themselves captured by Faber, and orders were issued for Chakas and Riser to be transported to Installation 07, which the builder was using for sinister experimental purposes. All believed the Didact was rushed away for a field execution, but he was in fact confined in a stasis bubble within a derelict ship, and left deep within a flood-controlled system. But Faber noticed that Bornstellar had received the bodily mutation of the warrior class, and the mental essence of the Didact, taking the name Isodidact, while Mendicant Bias was poised to strike at his creators. It returned to the capital with a halo now corrupted by the Gravemind. The AI set its sights on the annihilation of the very race that created it. Seizing control of the capital's defense systems, the rampant AI held the revered Ecumene Council hostage by locking them in their life-sustaining armor suits, leaving the Forerunner government in chaos. Bornstellar makes Eternal Lasting, imbued with the Didact's memories, managed to disrupt Bias's operations, but this break was short-lived. 5 of the 12 Halo installations, all now under Bias's control, loomed ominously, preparing to unleash their cataclysmic power. The skies above the capital became a theater of war. The Forerunner defense fleet, in a desperate bid to protect their homeland, were now faced to destroy the very creations they once took pride in, their most advanced piece of technology, the Halos. The monitors of these installations, staying true to their programming, retaliated fiercely, deploying their armies of sentinels, and 2 of these Halos would be destroyed, torn apart by the combined might of Forerunner firepower and the capital's gravitational pull. But all was not lost. They decided to shepherd the 7 remaining Halos under Forerunner command through a subspace portal, guiding them to the relative sanctuary of the Greater Ark. The passage was treacherous. Omega Halo, despite emerging on the other side, bore scars of the journey. And in a tragic twist, just as one Halo was about to enter the portal, the Fortress ship's arrival led to its destruction. Then, in a staggering display of power, Installation 07 fired its weapon. A wave of desolation spread across the area, annihilating friend and foe alike. The Ringworld then made its exit, leaving behind a system reeling from this devastation. It was during this intense conflict near the Forerunner capital that the vessel carrying Chakas was annihilated. In the chaos, Chakas, under the protection of a handful of Forerunner guardians, managed to evacuate the disintegrating ship via escape pod. The descent was turbulent, and the pod crash-landed on Installation 07 before it jumped through slipspace.
The horizon curved upward to both sides. Not good, not right. Horizons do not curve up.
Severely wounded, Chakas was found by a young human girl named Venerva. From her, Chakas learned that the Halo harbored a diverse array of human populations, all grouped under the moniker The People. Initially struggling with their ancient dialect, the imprints of Chakas's Gaius allowed him to bridge the linguistic gap. A significant number of these humans had been relocated to the Halo by the librarian eons ago, while the more recent arrivals were the Master Builder's plan, using humans as test subjects for his flood experiments. As Chakas grappled with the multitude of memories surfacing within him, the dominant consciousness that emerged was that of Forthenko, the Lord of Admirals. This figure had previously led human forces against Didact's armada during the pivotal strike at Charamakor, as this dominant persona settled, leaving him with the feeling that these ghosts in his mind had faded. Once Chakas's recovery was underway, Minerva introduced him to her elderly grandfather. Gamaplar too hailed from Earth and bore an old spirit, an ancestral memory imprint similar to Chakas. Around this time, Minerva felt a mysterious compulsion to journey toward an assumed haven, an influence that Chaka recognized as a Gaius that affected those born on the Halo. Hoping to reunite with Riser, Chakas, Minerva, and Gamalpar set out, but their destination revealed itself to be a nightmarish sight. Dubbed the Palace of Pain, this facility was the hub for flood research, where the Foreigners were desperately hoping to see if there was any truth to the claims that humans had a cure. As the trio covertly observed the complex, they beheld the unsettling sight of countless humans being shepherded inside by the Primordial. This they chose to flee, and their journey eventually led them to a vast lake, bordering an eerily deserted human city. Their exploration of the city unveiled a chilling discovery, a proto-Gravemind, ensnared within a Forerunner containment field. Without hesitation, Chakas and Gamelpar quickly ran away. Navigating past the lake, their trio was intercepted by Gene-Mender Folder of Fortune, a life worker, accompanied by a group of Denisovans and a massive ape named Mara. They were led to a settlement bustling with humans. After being nourished and guided to rest by Gene-Mender, Chakas was startled awake by Riser, who said he distrusted the life worker and his fellow inhabitants. This is when Gene-Mender provided a startling revelation, escorting Chakas to a concealed location, unveiling a shocking truth. The humans in the settlement were mere hard light projections of archived personalities. Gene-Mender's mission, he stated, was to preserve these genetic records, keeping them out of the clutches of the Flood and the Master Builder. In an ironic twist, Chakas discerned that Gene-Mender too was nothing more than a holographic projection, operating from a monitor. His intent to preserve Chakas in the same manner was met with resistance. Chakas was met with the heart-wrenching sight of a fading Gamelpar. Gene-Mender's proposal to archive Gamelpar's personality imprint was met with fierce resistance as the Elder simply wanted a dignified end. Chakas solemnly stood by Gamelpar and received his dying wish to ensure Minerva's safety. Abruptly, a power failure plunged the site into darkness, deactivating the monitors and silencing the human projections. As Chakas, Minerva, and Mara regrouped, Riser emerged, revealing his covert surveillance of the group. Chakas' elation at this reunion was palpable. In an intimate moment, the pair let their imprinted old spirits converse. As it emerged, Riser bore the consciousness of Yprin Yprikrushma, historically an adversary of Forthenko. Following his profound exchange, the party, under Minerva's guiding Gaius, pressed on, and their resilience was tested as hunger and fatigue weighed heavily on them. But they were rewarded when they stumbled upon a rail transport. Embarking on this vehicle, their journey culminated at a life worker facility. There, they were ushered into another vessel, uncertain of their destination and what lay ahead. The vehicle journeyed deeper into the vast expanse of the Halo, leading them directly to the command center of Mendicant Bias. Here, countless humans had been detained. In this stronghold, Chakas underwent a grueling mental examination by the AI. This experience was agonizing, disorienting him completely, making him endure repetitive simulations of memories, at this point unsure which were genuine or fabricated. The devastating aftermath of this experience was that Chakas, along with the other captive humans, had their ancestral memories forcibly extracted via the Composer. This procedure inflicted grievous physical and psychological wounds. Mendicant Bias, having rounded up all these humans, proposed a trade-off. Their assistance in combat against its previous masters in return for the manifestation of their old spirits inside monitors. Their initial mission was a dire one, averting a catastrophic collision of the Halo with a planet. The Halo's course was deliberately set on this collision path as a safeguard in this very case where it was commandeered by adversaries. Faced with this enormous responsibility, Chakas wavered. However, Forthenko misled Mendicant Bias into believing that they were compliant. Consequently, both were ushered into Halo's cartographer chamber to synchronize and regulate the Halo's maneuvers. The situation intensified as the Halo neared the planet. Out of the blue, the Isodidact's fleet materialized, and without hesitation, the Didact incapacitated Mendicant Bias using a built-in failsafe command. Chakas recognized the Isodidact as Bornstellar and watched as he entered the cartographer. Bornstellar played a pivotal role in assisting Chakas in navigating the Halo safely past the looming planetary threat. The colossal structure sustained substantial damage, but it held firm. Recognizing the need for urgent repairs, Bornstellar, the Isodidact, issued an order to first discard the most ravaged sections of the Halo, followed by its transportation to the greater Ark. However, as the Halo commenced its voyage via the slipspace conduit, exhaustion overcame Chakas, causing him to black out. After reclaiming the Halo, the Isodidact, in a gesture that seemed to blend duty with mercy, chose to preserve Chakas' essence. He accomplished this by migrating Chakas' unique biological pattern, comprising his distinct personality in an exhaustive chronicle of his biological form, putting it into a monitor's framework. The synthesized consciousness also integrated a plethora of archived human identities that had been harvested by the Composer post the Battle of Charam Hakor, in addition to the vast data related to the librarian's extensive work. Thus transformed, the Monitor Chakas was designated as an archival custodian and the librarian's assistant. Drawn to the responsibility of safeguarding human communities on the greater Ark, Chakas expressed his desire to assume this role, recognizing this both as a therapeutic step in his new journey and a testament to his past sacrifices. The librarian agreed, allowing him to watch over humanity as a token of gratitude for his invaluable service.